Hey guys, it's Nat and it is a Friday, so it's a start to another weekend reading vlog. I thought I'd quickly tell you what I'm reading. Yeah, it's 9 a.m. I woke up at 8 because I went to bed really late because I started reading a romance book. I was really in the mood for romance. But let me tell you what I was reading before I started the romance book. So I'm currently reading Crying in Haidt by Michelle Zauner, and I am on chapter 9, page 108, and this is like really good. I'm actually really enjoying this. I have cried a couple of times. I just like how honest Michelle is when she talks about like her mother, because this is mostly about Michelle Zauner and her relationship with her mum, but also like with her culture, because she is half Korean, half American. It's just really interesting. And I have kind of noticed that people that are like mixed cultures or mixed ethnicities, like they go through different things. Like if she was fully Korean, she would have gone through different things, but she's half Korean, half American. So like that's really interesting to read about. So I'm 100% Polish. So I don't know what it's like to be half and half of something. But anyway, this is really well written. It kind of feels like I'm reading Michelle Zauner's diary. And even when she's talking about her mother and some of the bad things that she did to impact their relationship, like Michelle's like, but I'm not perfect either. So I'm really enjoying this. And I think I have like another 100 and maybe 20-30 pages, so I think it's doable to finish this. Chapters are really well written because they're not too long, so you can fly through them, and it's like each chapter is its own section, its own story. Yeah, really enjoying this. I want to definitely finish it soon. And then on my Kindle yesterday, I was like, I really want to read a romance. The last book before Crying in Haidt that I finished was romantasy, but more on the fantasy side, because there is romance but not too much. I'm like, I haven't read a romance book in a little bit, so yeah, it's definitely time to read a romance. I'm reading Blindside Beauty, which I think is the last book in the Varsity Dads series. There's 6 books. This is the 6th book. I've actually had like a lot of books in this series that I loved or I thought were great, and some were just mediocre. Like I think the lowest I rated a book is 3 stars, but this one I'm enjoying so much. So in Blindside Beauty, this is like a single dad, which is what most of these books are. There's a single mom too. There's always a pregnancy or a kid involved in the stories. I never thought I would enjoy a series that follows like single dads, single moms, or like just relationships that form around kids, if that makes sense. But yeah, in this one we have Nick, who 3 years ago, like he lost his baby's mom, Gemma. I think it was in a car crash, because he's reminded of the day a lot when it like rains, I think. But I don't know, they haven't really told us, but I'm really enjoying that side because Nick is the sole father of Hazel now, and it's been really hard for him. He's also a American football player, and yeah, he ends up like meeting Abby, who he has insane chemistry with. She actually used to be engaged to one of his teammates who's no longer a teammate, and he was a bad guy as well. We met Abby in the last book because the main girl in that book, Roxy, she used to date Abby's fiance, well, at the same time that they were engaged. It's a little bit messy, but yeah, she's over him now, like they broke up. She ends up wanting to nanny Hazel, so Nick's daughter, but something's happened. She accidentally smashes into his bumper of his car because she's trying to escape her annoying ex Ezra, and yeah, they end up being neighbors. She ends up rescuing Hazel once because the nanny that Nick ended up hiring like locks herself out, and it was great because like she ends up flashing him, he can't stop thinking about her, he ends up hiring her because Hazel, his daughter, who's 4 years old, she really likes Abby. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm actually on page 212 of 368, so I'm like 60% in. I think I'm definitely gonna finish this either today or tomorrow. I don't know why I did this to myself, because I've been going to bed before 10 or around 10. Yesterday I stayed up till 12 because when I start a romance book, I cannot put it down until they either kiss or like they finally get over that hurdle and get in a relationship. So I had to read for a long time because it took like 50% for them to actually finally give into the chemistry. It's really good. And also why I'm really enjoying this book is because it's so funny. I've laughed out loud so many times and I've highlighted so many quotes because they make me laugh. So yeah, I'm excited to read more of this and then tell you if I really enjoyed it or not. So far, I'm really enjoying it. And then yeah, I already talked about this book. So these two books, I think today we're getting the next 4 episodes in Love is Blind because it is a Friday. So I'm gonna watch some of that, and I also need to finish editing today's video. Usually I will have the video like done on Thursday, but yesterday, I'm gonna say it again, I had a bad day. But yeah, it's okay. I took it easy yesterday. Today I'm just gonna get to do some work. Let's go make breakfast and then watch Love is Blind. Misty Saturday. I actually woke up at 7:30 and I ended up going for a run. It was a hard run because I'm technically on my last days of my period, but I did it. I pushed through. But I'm pretty sure one of the ladies that waited for me to run past her car before she opened her car door told me I have frost on my eyelashes because I literally touched my eyelashes when I finished my run and I was walking home, and like I felt frost and I had frost on my laces of my shoes. Hello Charlie, come on, come here child. This cat, she's not even in frame. She's just been meowing since I've been back because everyone else is still asleep. But I'm waiting for my eggs to cook because I always have the same breakfast. Bread with butter, eggs and ketchup on top. But I wanted to quickly update on the 2 books I'm reading. Yesterday I didn't get as much reading done as I wanted to, but I'm still very happy with how much I got done. I also finished the 4 episodes that came out on Love is Blind Germany, and I'm kind of disappointed with this season. I'm not enjoying it at all. It's just, I am not rooting for any of the couples. But anyway, in terms of reading, I got to chapter 14, page 158. I'm at the halfway point, a little bit more than halfway done. I'm still really enjoying this. I keep crying in haidt mart. Definitely will make you cry. I will talk more about this book when I finish it, just because I feel like I'm going to constantly be saying the same thing over and over. And then with Blindside Beauty by Lex Martin, I ended up reading a couple more chapters today. So I'm on page 283, chapter 42, and I'm 78% in. I'm still enjoying this, but there's a miscommunication trope, and I'm worried there's going to be another trope that I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to see if there's a trope, or if that trope's in there. I don't think I'll be able to say what trope it is then, because I'm already 78% in. If it's in the last 20% of the book, then that will be a spoiler, but we'll see. I'm actually really cold because underneath this I just have a sports bra. I had this on as well and I had gloves on and I was still quite cold. I think I'm gonna run 1 more week in these leggings. I've had these leggings since I've been 18. I'm 25 or like 19, I can't remember when I got them, but I only wear these ones for running because they actually keep everything in. But I need to check if there's like winter ones because it's so cold, like so cold. Look at that cat. I have many nicknames for her. I have more nicknames for Charlie than I have for Tessa, but most of my nicknames are in Polish because I talk to my cats half in Polish, half in English. Tell me why this cat has the nickname dziecko, which is child, and babcia, which is grandma, like gran, because sometimes she acts like a grandma, but today she's been like howling. I can't even call it meowing. Yeah, I'm talking about you. She was howling, so I called her a child because she acts like a child. She'll be running around and you don't know what she wants, and she also threw up when I was on my run. So a true dziecko indeed, true child. had a very productive day yesterday where I finished 2 books. And the 2 books that I told you I was reading, I literally went on a run in the morning, like completed my move and exercise ring, because I also do some stretching before and after the run. I just pretty much laid here because I was so cold. But yeah, I'll quickly tell you about the 2 books that I finished. So first things first, I'm going to talk about the book that I have in front of me, Crying in Mart by Michelle Zauner. I absolutely loved this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Actually, the 2 books that I read, I literally gave 5 out of 5 stars to, and the 3 books that I already read for this year, 5 out of 5 stars. So I'm very happy with how I'm starting this year, because I think last year I didn't start with 5-star reads. But yeah, this was just deeply moving. I think it was very well written, and it's almost like you're reading Michelle Zauner's diary. I just found it very personal and just very moving to read. I think I already said that. I don't know how to describe this book because I know a lot of people probably won't like this book. I don't think you need to have experienced grief to enjoy this book. I just found it deeply moving because Michelle went through a lot of things that a lot of people go through. She also tells us about what it's like to be half Korean, half American. Like in her adolescent years, because she was in America, she wanted to fit in with her American peers. She wanted to be as American as possible. Then when she was in Korea, especially when she visited after her mother passed away, like she just really wanted to connect with her Korean side. Like she wanted to feel like she fit in Korea. So I found that very interesting to read about. It definitely made me cry a couple times. I laughed, I felt angry, I was happy, and I think it deserves all the hype that it got. And I think this won a Goodreads Choice Award, and I've seen some people say that mostly people find it like critically acclaimed or something because the author, Michelle Zauner, is the lead singer, I think, of a band called Japanese Breakfast. I don't listen to like indie music. I think it's indie rock. And I tried listening to her album, but it's not my type of music. And I saw some people saying that, yeah, just because she's a singer or she's in a band, that's why this became popular. But I feel like a lot of people who don't listen to her music, who don't know she's an artist, enjoyed her book. So yeah, I just really enjoyed this. I think I read this at the perfect time that I did, and I've noticed with books that I've been wanting to read for a while, like this one I've been wanting to read for the past year, like I end up really enjoying them. So sometimes I don't give into the hype, I just wait and see if I'm still interested in reading this. Yeah, I loved seeing the familial bonds, like for Michelle with her mother, her father, and like her extended family in Korea. Yeah, this was just really, really good. I'm so happy that my brother got this for me for Christmas and I read it so fast. Then I finished Blindside Beauty by Lex Martin. This is the 6th book in the Varsity Dads series, and it's the last one. And in this series we basically mostly follow like characters that have kids. Mostly it's single dads, but there are a couple in there where like the girl gets pregnant and stuff and she has a kid. She's a single mom. Yeah, I loved this book as well. 5 out of 5 stars. It was funny. Even though there was a miscommunication trope between Nick and Abby, I didn't mind it because it felt realistic for these characters. They're in college, they're under a lot of stress, and they haven't had like the most experience in relationships because most of them, yeah, both of them actually, both Nick and Abby have only been in like high school relationships, and I just really enjoyed it. I loved how Hazel, Nick's daughter, was in the story. She was a main part of the story. It like makes sense, I think, in this series because we follow mostly like single dads, like single parents. I think Lex Martin did an incredible job like interweaving the kids into the stories because they should be part of the story. This book also deals with grief, and I kept avoiding it because of that. I thought it was going to be like very sad, and yes, it is sad because we see Nick like dealing with grief like 3 years after his partner, the mother of Hazel's mother, passed away. But I don't know, just really enjoyed this. There was chemistry. Abby's just the sweetest, most caring female protagonist you could read about. I don't know, I was rooting for these two. I loved it. I was never bored. I didn't think there were too many like sex scenes. I thought there was a plot, a well-developed plot at that. And I know we're gonna be following Paige and Rhett, who are like how would I even describe this? Long term? Like, okay, so Rhett is 10 years older than Paige. I think he's best friends with her older brother. She's always had a crush on him. I think her brother told him and she's embarrassed because she's from a small town, so she never wants to see him again. But I think he's gonna be like a single dad on a ranch, and I'm going to be reading that because I enjoy those kinds of stories. I'm usually not a small town type of girl, but I kind of enjoy it, especially when there's kids involved. But yeah, I think I'm gonna finally pick up the third book in the Fate Isles series. I thought about picking up a shorter book to read another one, but I think I'm ready for this one. It's called Ruins of Sea and Souls, but I also have a dark romance. It's a stalker kind of romance. It's called Lights Out by Vanessa Allen. I did get into the hype for that one. I am not the biggest dark romance fan because I like reading cute stories, but I kind of want to read that. No, I think I'm going to read the next book in the series that I'm in the middle of, because I told myself no starting new fantasy series until I finish this one. So yeah, I'm gonna go read. Let's see if it's gonna open. It's gonna open very slowly. There we go. It's 510 pages. Cute. There's a little seashell. Let's go read. And then I'm gonna play Sims. Monday night. I'm getting ready for bed because it's 9:37. I actually just spent like maybe half an hour reading The Anxious Generation on chapter 2, What Children Need to Do in Childhood. I'm really enjoying this. I'm actually, I don't know if you can tell, tabbing the book because it's giving me so much information. I'm just eating it up. I actually just literally went to my mom to tell her. So I also found out what generation my grandpa is and I wanted to tell her about it, and then I ended up telling her about this book. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. At first, like, I think Jonathan Haidt mentioned how some people are arguing that depression is rising because of the uncertain times we're living in, and yeah, I kind of blame it on that too. But he's also like, if people had people around them to support them and you're going through a hard time together, then it's less hard to get through. Like, suicide rates wouldn't be going up, depression wouldn't be going up because you feel less lonely. You have people going through the same thing as you. I completely agree with that. When he worded it that way, I'm like, yes. Like, no wonder my depression went up when I came here, because everyone's in a completely different life stage to me. What I mean is with my friends. So I felt lonely, but everyone was understanding. And as long as you have people helping you go through these difficult life stages, you should feel less alone. Also, I'm very excited to read more about like how social media is impacting my generation. The anxious generation is Gen Z. Sorry to break it to you. I think if you were born from 1997 to 2012 maybe, then you're Gen Z. You're the anxious generation. But yeah, anyway, I also wanted to say, like, ever since picking up this book, even when I like just picked it up by buying it and it was just sitting there on my bookshelf, like, I've limited my social media usage because I've also been watching videos about people deleting social media. Don't think I will ever become that person because I have some people I'm really good friends with on Instagram, so I want to keep in contact with them. But yeah, I've been posting less and it's just been so nice. Sometimes I feel bad when I'm not like responding to people straight away, but I'm gonna try and limit my social media usage. So yeah, if you guys stayed until the end, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.